Thank you, and a happy new day to every CSA member, home and abroad. Last week, Auntie Peace expertly taught us on intentional living, and today my topic is on awakened intuition. In Chapter 6 of Studies in Truth, Explorations in Metaphysical Thought by Roy Eugene Davis, he writes on the topic awakened intuition and how to use extrasensory ability. He says, without awakened intuition, there can be no spiritual unfoldment, because intuition is the soul's ability to perceive directly whatever it wants to perceive. Again, without awakened intuition, there can be no spiritual unfoldment, because intuition is the soul's ability to perceive directly what it wants to perceive. Remember, we do not think our way into God consciousness, nor do we become God conscious as a result of study or because of learning through experience. We become God conscious to the degree that we are waking from the dream of mortality, the belief that we are separate and apart from God. You see, this point is very important, because you can be on the spiritual path for so many years thinking that you become spiritual. We do not become spiritual. The truth about the spiritual path is that in our practices, we are not working to become spiritual. We are not working to become spiritual. We think correctly, pray effectively, meditate correctly, regularly and correctly, and abide by all the rules of spiritual living, only that we may clear the false notions from the mind and consciousness in order for the light of truth to be revealed. We do not build or create a spiritual consciousness. We do not build or create a spiritual consciousness. We merely get rid of all that obscures our pure vision. Everything that we do in the way of discipline, our prayer work, meditation, proper study, is for the purpose of clearing our consciousness and awakening the memory of our soul nature. We are already that which we have been striving for incarnations to realize. All we have to do is awaken to the realization that it is true, and intuition enables us to do this. Through awakened intuition, the truth about life is revealed. And incidentally, Reverend says intuition is intuition from within. Extrasensory perception, or ESP, is the same as intuition. It is a soul ability and not an attribute of the mind. Many researchers are looking into the mind of man for the key to ESP, or extrasensory perception phenomena, but they will not find the answers there. ESP can only be understood when the subject is approached as we are approaching it here. Some people feel that they do not want to awaken their extrasensory perception ability because they have heard or experienced strange psychic happenings. Let me say right now that when our consciousness is clear and our goals are right, we will not have unpleasant, strange, or frightening experiences. Let me say right now that when our consciousness is clear and our goals are right, we will not have unpleasant, strange, or frightening experiences. Most of those things come from ESA. Somebody said, oh, this and this happened. But meanwhile, they themselves, it's all third party. I heard it from so and so, I heard it from so and so. He says that we tune into whatever we are consciously or unconsciously looking for. We tune into whatever we are consciously or unconsciously looking for in life. And if we desire only that which is wholesome and helpful to our spiritual progress, this is all we will become aware of through using intuition. Many psychics are materialistic in their attitudes or negative in their thinking. This accounts for the strange and undesirable experiences they have. So if you have heard of any bad experiences of people and you are thinking if you meditate, something bad will happen to you, nothing bad will happen to you. Reverend and Auntie Peace, myself, John Siade, we have been around for so long and we have been meditating. Nothing has happened to us. If something were going to happen, it would have happened long ago. We can awaken intuition by using it. In fact, the question was, how can we awaken intuition? We can awaken intuition by using it. We all have it, but some have developed it more than others. The more you use it, the greater it will manifest in your life. Like muscles, if you leave your muscles down and you don't use them, they will wither and die. But the more you use your muscles, the more you gain strength in your muscles. So he says, we can awaken intuition by using it. We all have it, but some have developed it more than others. The more you use it, the greater it will manifest in your life. So begin to expect your intuition to awaken. Begin to expect to be able to use intuition. Consider it a natural thing. Expectation triggers intuitive awakening. Expectation triggers intuitive awakening. When you read the scriptures or any other inspirational literature, expect to be able to know what the author had in mind when he first wrote the material. In this way, you will tune into the level of consciousness of the author and gain insight into his purpose and meaning. When you listen to a teacher as he talks, relax the conscious mind and try to intuitively perceive what he's trying to say. When you listen to a teacher as he talks, relax the conscious mind and try to intuitively perceive what he's trying to say. You will go beyond his verbal expression and will become aware of his level of consciousness. In this way, you'll be instructed on a non-verbal level. When you meditate, maintain an attitude of effortless expectancy, and you will find that you will gain insights which have never before surfaced. He's now talking about practical uses of intuition. When talking with people in general, try to perceive more than their words. Try to tune into their real thoughts and real feelings. Can't you see that sometimes when you are talking to people or people come with so many sad stories, you realize that all they are doing is lying and trying to get your money. Tune in. When you're talking with people in general, try to perceive more than their words. Try to tune into their real thoughts and real feelings. Then you will know a genuine person from a Sakawa person. In this way, you will learn to read people like a book and know more about them than you would otherwise know after months of constant association. He goes on to say, if you are faced with a problem, do this. Sit quietly and relax, knowing that within you is the ability to see the solution to the problem. Be detached. Do not be emotionally involved. If you cannot see through the problem at this time, inwardly accept the fact that in the near future, the solution will be revealed to you. Then go about your routine business. At a moment when you are not consciously working on the problem, the answer will flash into your mind. Or perhaps someone may say something to you that will trigger the solution. You may see the solution in a dream. The main thing is to relax the conscious mind and expect to receive the solution from the infinite. Remember, God is in control of the world. It is his world. Many heads of great business enterprises use intuition all the time to solve problems. Many heads of great business enterprises use intuition all the time to solve problems. receive guidance, and find answers to complex questions. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was Edison or this thing, the theory of relativity, it flashed into his mind. It was through intuition. An article in the Wall Street Journal put forth a theory that the X factor involved in the operations of successful stock market investors is intuition. So those who are in business, those who are in work, those who are in whatever situations, try to learn to have awakened intuition and make your business successful. Don't say that because everybody is doing pure water, I'm going to do pure water. Pray to God sincerely that He show you your way, and intuition will reveal to you your path. If you want to get in touch with people, if you want to contact someone at a distance and you do not know the person's address or telephone number, do this. Sit quietly and look within. Visualize the person and feel his presence as though the person were right in the room with you. Mentally request the person to contact you. Before long, the person with whom you establish this contact will either call or write to you, or you will accidentally meet. Try it. It never fails. In fact, on this call, I think Reverend Sasu has told us a few occasions when he has used this technique, and it has worked beautifully for him. It should go without saying that in using ESP or extrasensory perception, we should never think in terms of taking advantage of others. In fact, even in our lives, we should never think in terms of taking advantage of others. Remember karma. Whatever bad or good you do to people will come full circle to you. So it's a warning that we should never think in terms of taking advantage of others in this or whatever life, or in this situation or whatever situation. Our motives must always be the highest and best for all concerned. Our motives must always be the highest and best for all concerned. If our motives are pure, there is no reason why we should not use ESP in a creative manner. To have ESP ability and not use it is like being able to see and hear, but refusing to use these faculties. We should use every natural ability we have to help in making our lives more fruitful. This is very important. We should use every natural ability we have to help in making our lives more fruitful. These days, you've heard that Auntie Peace has introduced Hatha Yoga. It is a natural ability, and we encourage everybody to come learn from her. Don't sit in your house and say you are practicing exercise. Come and learn the correct thing. She does it every Monday, every Wednesday, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. You are all invited. We should use every natural ability we have to help in making our lives more fruitful. In times to come, 1,000 or 2,000 years from now, most people will use intuition as naturally as they now use other abilities. Why is that so? Because now we are in the electrical age. From there, we will go to the mental age, and then we will go to the age of enlightenment. And in the mental age, intuition will reign supreme. In times to come, 1,000 or 2,000 years from now, most people will use intuition as naturally as they now use other abilities. As a student on the spiritual path, you are ahead of the masses in your unfoldment, and you have the potential of now using that which will become common practice centuries from this time. Without intuition, this is Royal. He says, without intuition, I could never do the things I do. When I receive the inner urge to act, whether it be to contact someone, write a book or an article, schedule a lecture tour, I do it, and I find that things work wonderfully well as a result. So let us all try to awaken intuition and use it. It is a natural ability God has given to each and every one of us. He says the difference between intuitive guidance and wishful thinking, very important. The difference between intuitive guidance and wishful thinking. With practice, we find that an intuitive edge is clear and sharp and comes upon us suddenly. Wishful thinking, on the other hand, is not intuition, but is identified with subconscious whims. The only way to tell the difference in the beginning is to examine our edges when they occur and check them out to see if they are correct. If we do not verify them, we will never know for certain. In fact, that is why Reverend says that Roy taught him that we learn by doing. On the spiritual path, we learn by doing. The only way to tell the difference in the beginning is to examine our edges when they occur and check them out to see if they are correct. If we do not verify them, we will never know for certain. After a bit of practice, as we learn to rely upon the infinite more and more, we find that we are being intuitively led in everything that we do. At this time, we find that the tensions resulting from anxiety vanish. We no longer fear the future. We know that every step we take is the right one, even though in the beginning we may have a few doubts. Now, Roy goes on to say that intuitive awakening is being born again. Intuitive awakening is being born again. Not the one we go and recite in our churches. I believe in God the Father. Unless a man is born again, he cannot comprehend the kingdom of heaven. Unless we awaken intuitively, we will never be able to grasp the subtle truths of life. A person without intuition is materialistic because he is sense-bound. One in whom intuition is awakened is aware of things which cannot be grasped through the senses alone. One in whom intuition is awakened is aware of things which cannot be grasped through the senses alone. We should use intuition to find our right place in life. Pray and then use intuition. Receive inner guidance. Understand other people, and if it is necessary, communicate with others at a distance. But the greatest use to which this ability can be put is to unravel the mystery of life. Unfortunately, many people use their ESP ability for personal gain, never thinking of solving the major problem, their spiritual ignorance. Yet when this problem is solved, as it can be with intuitive ability, all the pain and suffering of human existence is banished forever. Yet when this problem is solved, that is spiritual, the problem of spiritual ignorance is solved, as it can be with intuitive ability, all the pain and suffering of human existence is banished forever. Let us therefore resolve to realize the truth. While we are working to make this world a better place, let us also work to realize our nature as conscious children of light. As conscious children of light, intentional living as conscious children of light. The goal is not far off. There are some standing here who will not die until they see the kingdom come with power. Yes, it is true. There are some who read these pages who will, before this present incarnation is over, awaken to the realization of the realm of wholeness, which is light and harmony. Isn't that wonderful? Awaken to the realization of the realm of wholeness, which is light and harmony. He asks, will you be one of these people? I hope so. The way is open to you, if you will become rightly resolved. Remember, the goal of life is liberation of consciousness. A firm decision to reach the goal is important, and the belief that it is possible. After that, you are to do what you can do to clear your consciousness. The result is that you allow the enlightenment experience to take place. You are completely awakened. He says that the result is that you allow the enlightenment experience to take place. How can you do that? By completely surrendering to God. Remember the 4 principles. That is, you have to meditate, you have to read scripture, and then you have to give all your all to God. Surrender to God, absolute reliance on God. He says that the result is that the enlightenment experience will take place and you will be completely awakened. One who is intuitively awake, these are advantages of being intuitively awake or spiritually awake. He puts it in brackets. That's about the same thing. Intuitively awake or spiritual awake moves through life like the wind. His actions are not comprehensible to the average person because he moves as a result of inner direction, not in line with subconscious conditions. In fact, Yogananda always used to say that every year he reads, I think, not more than 1 or 2 books. All his knowledge came from direct experience with God. So one who is intuitively awake or spiritually awake moves through life like the wind. His actions are not comprehensible to the average person because he moves as a result of inner direction, not in line with subconscious conditionings. Such a person is embodiment of the truth. Such a person, when completely God conscious, can say, I of myself can do nothing. Or he who has seen me, the real me, has seen the Father. For one on the spiritual path, enlightenment is the major goal. Remember the words of Jesus, to this end came I into the world, to bear witness unto the truth. So his disciples should follow the same thing. And on the CSA, the Kriya Yoga path, remember the words of Reverend Sasu. He said that he wanted to know God and was led to Lakemont. And he said that if this is my path, Lord, open it. If it is not my path, close it. And he was led to Lakemont. So let us also be our goal to know God and nothing else. Remember, Yogananda says that if you want to know God and you have any dark motive or any hidden motive, God will never reveal himself to you. But when you have only a pure motive to know God, then the light of truth will be revealed unto you. For one on the spiritual path, enlightenment is the major goal. Such a person will not become sidetracked by becoming involved with proving ESP, reading for others to satisfy their curiosity. Reading, when it says like reading palms, reading people's horoscope and all that kind of things, reading for others to satisfy their curiosity, or using ESP to control or take advantage of others. As one great master said, out of 1,000, one seeks spiritual insight. Out of 1,000 who seek, one finds. The one who experiences fulfillment is the one who never stops, but goes all the way. And he ends with an affirmation. This day, I'm relying upon the infinite for guidance, direction, and insight. With the eye of intuition, I behold the truth about life and not the distortions of the conditioned mind. Let's sit in the meditative posture and repeat this affirmation. This day, I'm relying upon the infinite for guidance, direction, and insight. With the eye of intuition, I behold the truth about life, and not the distortions of the conditioned mind. For the second time again, this day I'm relying upon the infinite for guidance, direction, and insight. With the eye of intuition, I behold the truth about life, and not the distortions of the conditioned mind. Okay, for the last time, this day I'm relying upon the infinite for guidance, direction, and insight. With the eye of intuition, I behold the truth about life, and not the distortions of the conditioned mind. Thank you very much.